Hey, folks, what's going on? I'm Scott. That's Ryan. That's Davion. And I'm Scott again. And this is Tales from the Film Set. And we're sitting here talking about basically everything going on in the world of movies, television, and possibly whatever Davion has on his phone right now. Do you want to share with the rest of the class?
Not too much
That'd be
because
fun.
it's very private.
It's all good. No, I'm busting your balls here.
I know.
But folks, we got a bunch of stuff we're going to be talking about right now. We're going to be talking about the fact that SAG has basically joined the front, unsurprisingly, when it comes to what's going on with the writer's strike and everything like that. We're going to be talking about the pictures that were released from what I guess I'm going to probably call Snow Person and the 7 other people. The Snow White remake now, which instead of having 7 dwarves, have 7 people of varying sizes, shapes, and ethnicities, which are now magical creatures. So we may talk into that because Disney is getting pretty much ransackedly mocked for it, setting themselves up possibly for what may be yet another collapse. Who knows? We'll have to see on that one. But gentlemen, how are you?
Fantastically well. Somewhat.
Mostly more or
Fantastically
less
well,
awesome.
somewhat.
Yeah. Mostly I'm more or less awesome on that, but get back to you. So
Yeah. Me, I'm doing great. Just got off with the guys over at Bite Size Breakdown for their
Yes, how'd that
One
go?
Gotta Stay, a One Action Hero tournament. I am happy to say that at least the high points of my list were acknowledged. I do feel like Donnie Yen's Ip Man does need a little bit more respect.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand. Mostly American people don't know a lot about him. I'm sure Davion knows about him, but he's in that fighting realm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He
if you
went
want to
toe-to-toe
check
with Mike
who
Tyson for
came
3
out on
minutes.
top on that, definitely get over there after this show and see how I was with my boy Amaru Moses. And keep watch on there just to find out if whether or not my pick ends up winning the whole thing.
Mhm.
Wait, before we start, who was your pick?
You'd have to watch to find out. I will tell you that
Shaggy.
the list included Hobbs from the Fast and Furious franchise, Eggsy from the Kingsman franchise, Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road, Ip Man from the Ip Man franchise, John Wick, and Ethan Hunt from Mission
Mhm.
Impossible.
So my question is, so we had to pick one person to eliminate? Am I
No,
correct?
one person stays.
Oh, one
That's why
person.
it's called One Gotta Stay.
Oh, okay. So if I were to pick, I might as well just keep him. Yeah. Why not? Right.
Ip Man went toe-to-toe with Mike Tyson for 3 minutes. So we do have that in there. But I don't know. I think a lot of people are just going to naturally go John Wick, who died.
Or did he?
Oh, that's right. There's a film theory. It says he's actually immortal. So
I mean, they were going to make another film, and despite the fact that they're making a franchise spin-off in the ballerina, another John Wick movie is not going to be surprising, especially the way the movie's doing this year compared to a lot of other action movies. I hate to say, even Mission Impossible kind of underwhelmed this weekend, which I am sad by, but I'm not surprised by because the Barbenheimer train of popularity has just kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
And I am one of those people that will be seeing both movies in the same evening.
Nice.
So
which order? Which is coming first?
I feel like you have to watch Oppenheimer first.
Mm.
Because then all the pink, colorful comedy of Barbie is probably going to be that much more refreshing after 3 hours of dread, turmoil, and oh my god, we have ruined our world.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I'm assuming you'll get after watching Oppenheimer. No comments? No one?
I don't blame. I can see that. You're going to be with Oppenheimer. I think you walk away a little depressed.
Yeah.
But with something
right.
like,
whereas if you start off with Barbie and you leave the movie on like a high note,
mm-hmm.
you are going to get dragged that much further down once you sit through 3 hours of Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Barbie has to be like the dessert on the 24-ounce steak that you have to eat entirely, fat and gristle all, before you.
I will say this, and I'm going to always keep it 100 when it comes to film.
Respect.
Oppenheimer is the Oscar Academy Award film, and that's where they're leaning more towards it. If it gets its money back and more, that's a success. If it doesn't, we already know where it's where's its targets at. But
Oppenheimer, I think, was what, $100 million, $120 million.
However much it costs to make your own nuke.
I don't know. Never looked into that.
Yeah. But I will say,
my days of intrigue of trying to build one of those things was decades ago. And I was a totally different person back then.
Oh yeah, no, the Bisquick bombs were my thing. Looking those
Uncle
up.
Fester's Book of Black Medicine and things like that. Yeah. I was a weird teen. But yeah, I don't know. But 100 million or 120 million is honestly a pretty feasible number. Like you said, in this case, when it came down to Mission Impossible has kind of underperformed a little bit. Right now,
yeah, I mean, it did globally like what, 280, but as far as domestically, it was only like under 60.
It's 232 right now. So,
oh wow, so even less.
Yeah, so right now it's at 234. I'm looking at box office. Here, I'll just actually, why am I looking at it? I'll just share it. Yeah, if you can.
Davion couldn't take it; he had to leave.
Yeah, I know he's so hurt by the fact that that Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning is not doing well. That, like I said, in this case here, there it is. It's number 13 at 234 million. That's still not even the box office of what, 290, I think was the number.
I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this was the weekend to do it when you were unchallenged.
Oh yeah.
Next weekend, ooh, it's gonna drop.
Yeah, you got Barbie and also you have Oppenheimer at the same time, so it's hitting two different groups, or in some cases, hitting at the same time. But you look at this, and this was the one that I think we more or less had pegged as doing well, and I think all of us were wrong here.
Well, again, it's going to depend on the legs that it has, because after this weekend, I don't really think there's going to be too much that's going to be competing for that particular kind of audience between Haunted Mansion, a couple of horror movies,
Haunted Mansion and doing squat,
and then eventually Mutant Mayhem in August.
Yeah.
So if it can go ahead and try to at least stay within the top 5 at that point, I think it'll do fine.
But if you look at it, I mean, look at that. Give me your thoughts on that domestic right there.
I mean, as far as an opening, it's not bad, but again, I expected better.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not sure how to take that, because this was the movie that we thought might challenge, honestly, Super Mario Brothers and all the rest of them, to actually be able to hold, basically to challenge at least, and maybe in the number 2 spot. It's not coming close to that. 78 million on the domestic. 2/3 is international on this, which kind of makes sense because they filmed all over the globe. But that domestic number, I mean, that might even hurt Tom Cruise's brand a little bit. But also,
I almost feel like the fact that since it is a part 1,
I was just gonna say
that may have done something to it. I mean, especially when you're going 2 hours 45 minutes, and while it does give a type of resolution, there's still more to come. I just saw it today. So, I mean, I'm just as bad at fault for not being part of these numbers because mine are a little late. But, I mean, for what it was a fun film. It had great action, great chases. And, yeah, I'd say compared to, say, Indiana Jones or The Flash or Transformers, whatever we've gotten in this past month, it excels over that. But I think because of that stuff beforehand, people are like, I need a really good reason to go. That's why I think the Barbenheimer stuff, since that's being propagated as oh, everyone's getting tickets to see both on the same day or at the same weekend. It's there's almost some shtick to that.
It's funny you mentioned that, because in this case, like you said, there are polar opposite films. But what's curious about this is that they're strangely playing off each other, but with each other.
Right.
And as a result, you've got two diametrically opposed films here. And what's interesting is there seems to be this strange collaboration between them that, people will see one and then the other, and they might theater hop for all I know. But I'm curious to see how much it's going to help or hurt, because if Dead Reckoning isn't doing well, you got to wonder, could Barbie honestly fail? I mean, financially, it was like 100 million, so it's again not that bad. But
Yeah.
Will it gross $1 billion? No. Will it hit 500? Maybe.
I think with Barbie, you're going to have a lot more goodwill globally. Like, if you're a foreign country and you have these two movies coming to your theaters, which one are you probably going to watch more? The one about Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, dressed up in all of her pinkness, going out and seeing the world with Ryan Gosling in tow, which, mind you, a lot of people are saying great things about Ryan Gosling in the film. Hey, Rob. Or are you going to see the film about how the United States created the atomic bomb to end the war and drop on some of the foreign countries that are going to be seeing the movie?
Given how much the rest of the world loves our military.
I'm going to go see.
Yeah. Again, like you said, diametrically opposed, but I also think that there's more of a worldwide recognition and admiration for the IP that is Barbie than, say, the atomic bomb.
I'm going to go see Barbie over atomic bomb.
Well, I'm definitely seeing both. Are you, Rob? Are you going to see both?
No.
Oh, you're just omitting Oppenheimer completely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Barbie and Barbie only.
Wow. Well, see, there you go. That's the thing. We're talking about the kinds of people that will go ahead and say they'll see both just because it's like a novelty.
I do
but
know
then,
they're doing...
you do have the split.
Sorry.
You have the split audience where it's like there are people that will just see Barbie because that's more in their realm, and then there are probably the more snooty cinephile types, the awards winners and lovers, that will go see Oppenheimer because it is that kind of movie that you don't get to really watch until award season starts.
I was gonna say, I mean, and then there are the people that have to see them both together because I know there's ones that are doing double features.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry that I'm late, but I heard you guys mention something before I came in, so I was gonna ask, what were you saying that we're all wrong on? What movie's doing bad that we all guessed high on?
Mission Impossible, man.
I don't think I guessed high on that one. I think I was the one that said it wasn't going to reach it.
I mean,
and you might be a little right. Again, we're talking about whether or not I'll have links for the next month. I almost hate to say, if it had come out last weekend,
yeah,
when all you had was Insidious, The Red Door, and Joyride,
I think
it would have fared better.
Did say it wasn't going to do well.
Yep.
He also said that Haunted Mansion was going to do well, but
yeah, I said Haunted Mansion wasn't going to do well either, but and I said Barbie movie was going to hit $1 billion.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't have the faith in it. I don't really.
Well, we can't count him out yet. He's like 1 for 3 or 1 for 4.
Well, I mean, to be fair with Barbie, I mean, we haven't.
But yeah, since I did see the movie today, I can say Mission Impossible was a really good movie. I would say, as far as it being your atypical fetch quest, going for the old MacGuffin, pretty, standard. But the way they went around it and the introduction of the characters that they brought in, solid. Makes me want to see the second one.
I have a thought on that, but go ahead, Day.
All right, so pretty much is right now. I think it's a slow burn because of as much of yet the anticipation and the promotions that they've been doing with regards to Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Mr. Impossible.
That's how Tom Cruise sounds after he's doing his own stunts and he's knocked around.
When he lands on the
we're doing this Mission Impossible movie.
But
I'm doing my own stunts.
I'm not confident. I'm not going to say I'm fully confident. I really think they're going to basically at least make their money back, but not on the grass of beating any other potentials.
290 was the number, so you're probably looking at like 700 million. Double that plus add like 20%. because because box office gross and marketing and promotion, all this kind of stuff, and they don't have Applebee's to help give them free tickets too. So,
right. Well, sorry, Indy.
Okay, I just want to. We may get to this, we may not. I am aware of 3 of the 6 endings that they filmed for Indiana Jones 5. We may get to it, we may not. So, the one the one you saw, and then there's 2 others that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as this movie goes, I read something the other day. It's Mission Impossible movies do as well as Tom Cruise is willing to jump. The higher he jumps, the better the movie is going to probably do. So if he does not outperform what he did the last time, and basically Fast and the Furious, these kind of things. So he jumps 6 times? I think he jumped off a motor, a ramp off a motorcycle and went airborne with it. So it was like, what's the next thing he's going to do? The next,
and this will be
even that jump doesn't necessarily top the free fall that he did pretty much from like space in the last one.
Yeah,
and this will be a 2-parter movie.
Yeah.
Maybe
so who knows what kind of stuff he's doing for the second one.
Because you know what it is? Here's the funny thing. I just had a conversation with someone about this, and this is a lot of people don't want to spend $25 on a ticket for a movie that they can see streaming 3 months later. Because this is a 2-parter, a lot of people may not want to go to the theaters to see this movie because what's the point? It doesn't have an ending or closure. You wait for that thing to show up on HBO Max or anything like that, and then you catch it then and also before you see the second movie to reacquaint yourself. Then the second movie maybe does well.
And that's a shame because to a certain extent, the movie does have an ending. It just doesn't have an ending to everything.
Right.
I mean, but at the same token, you have like Infinity War, which everybody knew was a part 1. Didn't affect the box office 1 iota. But 17, 18, whatever it was, that was a different world back then.
Yeah.
It might have been 100 years ago for all we hear.
The difference between Infinity War, because of the fact that people wanted to know what was going to happen in the part 1.
Because they were invested in all these characters for over a decade here.
Right.
Emotionally invested.
Now, as far as Mission Impossible, you're invested in Tom Cruise. Fast X, you're invested in Vin Diesel and a few other characters.
Family.
And what was the other movie that
a Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
With that one, at least it gave you an ending where you was like,
right.
Oh.
And Fast X is a 3-parter.
I thought it was a 2-parter.
No,
they announced 3.
Vin Diesel said in an interview it'd be 3 parts.
Yeah, but the money will probably only make it a 2-parter.
So pretty much we're looking at it this way. I'm sorry. So if it's a 3-parter, it's going to be, of course, the first Fast X, Hobbs and Shaw, and then the finale.
Well, no, Hobbs and Shaw, they said they're not doing another. No, it's basically Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy X-2, Final Fantasy X-3 in this case.
Or there's been a joke in the third one. They might as well, he might as well face himself, and he might as well face Triple X.
Yeah, but first Triple X, not Ice Cube.
Yes, interdimensional travel via a souped-up Camaro,
and he battles Riddick.
Yeah,
and the Iron Giant.
Yes.
Hey, they already went
and Groot.
And he goes to the dinosaurs.
And then also he has to face the pacifier at the end.
Wasn't there?
Oh God, no! That's like if Hobbs meets up with the Tooth Fairy, man. Come on.
Hobbs meets up with the Scorpion King.
The real Scorpion King or the CGI one from Mummy 2?
CGI one from back then.
No, wait.
Dude,
there's more.
Show up in Chippendale.
There's more. Hobbs versus, I guess, the guy from Doom.
Okay. Hobbs versus the Rock when he played in the CFL.
Wow, taking it back.
The Calgary Stampeders, who released him, by the way.
Oh, wow.
No. Hobbs versus Rocky Maivia with the straps and everything.
Well, all right. What about Rocky Johnson? He played his father once, and in season 1 of that '70s show, when nobody knew who he was or that show was, he actually played his father, and his father talked about his newborn kid named Dwayne and how he was one day going to be the biggest action star on the planet. That was 1998. They filmed that.
Yeah, I remember.
Nobody knew who really The Rock was, or even that '70s show.
Okay.
Oh, don't forget about
enough foreshadowing.
Hold on, don't forget about Hobbs versus Black Adam.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Mm.
Hobbs die.
Hobbs
die.
Not
Hobbs
with
versus his
family.
role in the other guys. So,
Not if
all
he
right.
has
Be like,
family.
man, the whole family will die.
Okay. We probably
right.
could have many more Hobbs as we go, but I think Ryan's kind of like, I am burned out on this topic. 12 days to Sunday. Yeah. Mission Impossible 2 will be better. Or part 2.
Yes.
And
No
then is that
spoilers,
the last
ladies and
one?
No,
And then-
I
is this
mean,
the end of the franchise?
Tom Cruise has gone on record that he will do these movies until he's like 80.
Oh my
Dude.
gosh.
That look at that dude is 61 years old right there. Okay, that
And
is
he
a
doesn't
good
even
looking-
look it.
That is a good-looking 61-year-old guy.
He don't
Yeah.
even look.
And you don't really see it in the movie until you get like real close in on his
That's
face.
from
I
the
mean, yeah,
wonderful.
I mean, granted, you got airbrushing and all this kind of stuff, but
That's
But
from
you
the
don't
wonderful
see it.
movie Outsiders.
But you don't see it.
No, but it's going to be at some point where you're not sure whether or not that's really Tom Cruise or it's a mask he's wearing.
a Tom Cruise mask.
Or if it's CGI'd.
Yeah, young Tom Cruise pulls it off, becomes old Tom Cruise.
Yeah. You'll de-age him and he'll fight the Nazis in 1944.
No, if you can find a picture between what he is now and how he looked during the first Mission Impossible back in like the 90s.
I understood that reference.
All right.
Down,
The best that I can kind of do is this right here. So you see
Right.
what you see, but then you got that.
Yeah, now look at that Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
That's like in his 40s or early 40s.
that was 27 years ago.
That was late 30s.
That was
Yeah.
1996. I think 1996 was that movie came out.
Yeah, late 30s. Wow.
Yep.
Oh, so there's hope for me after all.
Damn straight, dude.
Yeah, and as long as you start in your teens, like doing stuff in the 80s and stuff.
You dance in your underwear,
Play maybe a greaser.
Old time rock and roll, yeah.
Get some guys together, learn how to do some cocktails at a bar.
Fly a plane, yeah.
What? That's Ryan.
What?
Ryan?
That's you.
That's me?
Yeah. No, meaning everything that they was describing was you.
You're flying a plane?
Besides the
I
plane.
could.
Besides the plane part.
I could.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
got
saying
you.
I would
I
do
got
it
you.
well.
I got
I'm just saying I could. You give me any opportunity, and I will
Yeah,
go ahead and attempt
I
it.
got you.
Now, whether or not I fail and whether or not I crash, I don't know.
Hey, Ryan.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Ryan, it went over your head, bro.
I'm trying to find it right now, actually.
It went way over your head.
Yeah, but now I want to fly a plane.
All right,
Come on, man.
you go for it, man.
Go for it.
I'll put my hours in.
You're almost Tom Cruise.
Except I ain't running for shit.
Go be in a Jurassic
You want to put
Park.
me on a motorcycle, put me in a car, put me on a Segway? Fine.
I know who you are. You're his brother William.
William?
Or, I'm sorry,
There's a William?
his cousin William Mapother.
Really?
Yeah, William. Yeah, because Tom Cruise's real name is Thomas Mapother.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Mapother, the actor, is actually his cousin in real life.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
No,
I thought you were going to call me like Emilio Estevez or something.
Well, you can do worse than that. But yeah, that's
like a poor man's Tom Cruise.
that's William Apather, his brother, his cousin.
Oh, God.
Well, it was kind of like when I showed that picture the other day. Of
He looks like Harry Potter if Harry Potter never got
Oh my
famous.
God,
No,
it does look
it looks
like.
like
Oh my
if you
God,
Yeah, he does look like Harry Potter.
If that glass isn't that Harry.
It would look like if you mixed Harry Potter with Dobby.
So, there's fan.
That's like Harry
There's
Potter if he
fanfic
just
of that,
became an
by the way.
accountant.
What?
That's Harry Potter with a 401k.
In the world where he never went to Hogwarts.
Hey, Ryan, with your
That's Harry Potter going to a vocational wizarding school
Ryan with your
to learn like engineering.
Ryan, with your Hawaiian
Maybe plumbing
shirt,
repair.
sorry, not trying to.
But
With
yeah,
your Hawaii,
go ahead.
sorry, with your Hawaiian shirt, you remind me of Wayne Knight from Jurassic Park.
Oh, screw you! Come on, man! Like every fat dude in a Hawaiian shirt, you automatically have to go there.
You got the
country
glasses
bumpkin.
too.
I can't help that I have bad vision.
Did you
fine.
use fat?
I will do it without the glasses for the whole episode, just to appease you.
All right. Well, I got to figure out.
It's not like I've got the curly hair. I don't have that.
He doesn't have curly hair in all his movies.
He's mostly got curly hair.
Not in Space Jam.
I'm trying to save this here. Okay. I'm really trying to do what I can to save this at this point.
Oh, don't save it with this movie.
Oh, we have plenty to say about this movie. So it's kind of hilarious. Originally, Disney denied it and eventually came out with it. That is, by the way, your 7 magical creatures from the new Snow White movie.
Yeah.
Where
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your 7 dwarves.
Dead's 100% serious. That is, in fact, your seven people.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, I looked it over. Some of the names are mentioned on the IMDb, but they're only given like a characterization of like dancer or something. They're not really given like any names.
Yeah, okay.
The only one I recognize is the dude in the middle with the beard. I think he was in House of the Dragon.
Okay.
Everyone else, I don't remember or notice for the life of me, which says a lot about probably how these characters are going to be utilized in this film. They're probably going to be very secondary.
I know,
or
it's
maybe like inconsequential.
I know it's not, but the first one looks like Peter Dinklage from a distance.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah,
it probably would have helped if they did use Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, he's an angry elf.
Well, after his meltdown that he had like a year ago. But yeah, I mean, you are setting this movie up for hilarious failure. There's 1,000 YouTube channels out there right now that all released videos yesterday when it came to basically looking at this thing.
I got a question. Why does the is it elves or dwarves or whatever?
Dwarves.
Magical people in this case.
Why do
short people with beards?
Why does the one right here that has the blue and the red, which is the female, looks like Trinity from what WWE and
Trinity Fatu?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of them just look like typical background rabble rouser. You know, there's nothing distinct out of these characters that makes me think, oh, they're going to matter a lot in this film.
You know, you're probably
they all look like just background.
Well, the movie is supposed to center around Snow White finding her ability to lead a group of people, you know, and expressing her individuality. That is the new version. So the one of, you know, someday my prince will come has been removed in favor of, you know, her ability to become a strong-willed woman.
But see, you still could have told like a similar tale if you had stuck to the original. I mean, you basically have like this woman who's being chastised for her beauty, chased after to the point of death, needs to hide, and given that she's been raised with a silver spoon in her mouth, you stick her in a house with 7 old men who have learned to live together, and you just build up this story of community and family, and that even if these people are different, they can still matter to you.
Yeah.
This says nothing about any of that.
This looks like something out of disco European wrestling.
It looks like the cast of Hair.
This reminds me of the movie Annie.
Nah.
Like Jamie Foxx Annie, you mean?
Maybe Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the orphan part, where these all look like
you got this guy looking like a 70s guy that's going to be like this.
The guy in the middle, it looks like somebody out Pirates of the Caribbean.
Like he's got to be the grumpy of the group.
Yo,
right?
Why do that girl look like? Yo, if it is, yo, I'm gonna.
Disney has confirmed this is accurate. So
yeah, but here's the thing: it's like I can understand them wanting to mix it up and maybe give the characters a little bit more flamboyance and, you know, personality other than like 7 dwarves that all relatively look the same.
You got a female,
but this has an adverse effect.
Yeah, that's a female.
Flamboyant.
There's, yeah, like I said, in this case here, what's hilarious about this is the fact that it's going to, they're already coming out and talking about how they're making all these changes kind of thing. There's no bait and switch late in the game. So for example, with Peter Pan and Wendy, you didn't know about like the Lost Boys, we'll call it that, until you saw the trailer. You didn't know that it was really designed to be more of Wendy's story, than Peter's story until much later into the development of it towards the end. This is a full year away, not even counting the SAG strike and all that. And you're already looking at this. So at this point, Disney is pretty far along. They can't change this. They can't go back and do reshoots and get rid of this because now the world already knows about it a year ahead of time.
But it also surprises me that they would go this route, considering when you think about the live action movies that have been successful, it's usually the ones that stay a little bit closer to the subject matter and to the original animated story, whether it be Lion King, whether it be Beauty and the Beast, whether it be Cinderella. Well, all of them have pretty much stayed close to exactly what you got with the animated version.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Little Mermaid went different, and Little Mermaid was a success.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a success. I mean, it was less of a failure than some of them. I meant
like, what was the budget for that movie? Wasn't it like 200,000 and it got 500,000? I mean,
it was 200. It was 250 million and it made 554.
Yeah, Little Mermaid's kind of like up there with Aladdin.
It's honestly, it probably in the end lost money because you got to take the budget, double it, and then you got to add like 20% extra.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so you're looking at something that maybe broke even, but they didn't basically burn, $250 million to make a movie to break even. They made that movie to make $500,000 net.
And the thing is, up until this, it sounded like a strong story. I mean, you had Rachel Zegler as Snow White. You've got Gal Gadot as the evil queen, which I'm sure is going to look incredibly massive with her crown and everything. Mm-hmm. She's going to look spectacular.
But the Doors are like, it's nothing special about them. No offense, but if they watching this, I'm sorry, it's nothing special because it feels like something that come on, the one in front that's holding the stick like he's just chilling. Mm-hmm. He looks like something out of I could meet him at a disco party.
He's like a low rent Devine Diggs.
The other guy, it looked like I could meet him at in a snowy day in Europe.
The blonde hair with the purple hat looks like a lost brother of the what's their faces? Skarsgård?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay.
It looks like a missing Skarsgård.
The other guy looks like a pirate. The other one, I don't even know what he looked like because the guy that looked like a pirate is blocking him a little bit. Then you have a female, which looks like Trinity from Impact Wrestling WWE. Mm-hmm.
And then the dude in the back,
I don't even know.
Yeah. It's like a character from the new Wonka movie.
Now, one of the guys in this, I try to get the cast on this. You'll know the guy when you see him. Martin Kleba is playing Grumpy. Martin Kleba, that guy. He's playing Grumpy.
He's from Pirates.
He plays Grumpy. I've seen him on other things too. I can't remember what it was. But he plays Grumpy in this movie. So
then he's the only one who's actually like dwarf-like.
Yeah.
But was he in that?
Which it doesn't look like him with all the hair.
I was gonna say, was he in that picture?
I think actually, you don't.
Yeah, he'd be
is he the middle one?
If that was the case,
I believe he's the one in the far right.
Oh, not the middle.
Are you sure? Because it really doesn't look like him.
Well, I mean, if he's Grumpy, he's got to be one of the 7 people.
I mean, out of all of them, the grumpiest one does look like the one at the bottom.
He doesn't look like Grumpy.
I have to put on my Wayne Knight glasses, as Robert's called them now.
He doesn't really. Actually, none of them really look grumpy.
Yeah, they've shown him in pictures as like all smiley and giddy. He's like the only smiley one there that actually looks like he's smiling.
I mean, that's assuming they keep the names too, because Sneezy, Happy, Grumpy, Dopey, Sleepy, Bashful, and Doc. So.
And then there was Stealthy, but we don't talk about that one.
Dumpy.
We're not talking Once Upon a Time.
So yeah, I mean, which one would be Doc? I'm guessing it's one of the 2 women would have to be Doc.
What 2 women? There's only one woman.
The one in front, the one in the front, and the Aqua hat is on a woman.
No,
I've got to imagine the one in the back is Doc.
You think?
no.
He looks like he's done some herbal stuff.
Hey,
he's happy.
hey,
Like if anybody knows about healing herbs, it's the dude in the back with the hoodie on.
Maybe he's dopey. I don't know. I mean, assuming they're going to keep with those names too. I mean, they did have Grumpy, but
well, the lady that I see, I think this is her.
mm-hmm.
She's playing Maple.
Yeah, some of the characters have names. Other of them just have like character descriptions, like Dancer.
Yeah, there's someone else by the name of Jonathan who's a new character for the film, played by Andrew Burnap.
Yeah, so I don't know if like they're just not putting up the names yet, so this way they keep like an air of mystery.
Could be.
But at this point, it's like, why would I care?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not
Dude,
seeing that.
like I said, the internet, there's 1,000 YouTube channels out there that are salivating all over this. You know, the Critical Drinker, the Disparos, and Dimions, and all those ones are sitting there peeing all over themselves. You almost have to wonder sometimes if things like this exist just to fuel those YouTube channels.
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, that's what happened to the Sonic movie.
Yeah, but the Sonic movie was different. I mean, the biggest complaint with a lot of the YouTubers I've mentioned in this case, and Nerdrotic and
It
a bunch
was
of
the art. It was the design of Sonic in the beginning.
Well, no, but my point is, a lot of their complaint is about the fact that modern Hollywood changes these things around, and gives it more of a woke edge to it. Sonic did not have a woke edge to it.
Correct.
No.
The YouTube channels I just fired off, they all are salivating over the wokeness of this film.
Okay,
And like I said, that's where, like I said, this image launched 1,000 videos across like 1,000 channels, celebrating basically Disney's decision to go down this road again.
Yeah, because they're supposed to all be old men, but
well, I mean, listen, I don't mind making them younger necessarily, but it's like I said, you've gotten rid of the dwarves in favor of 7 magical creatures.
But here's the thing that kills me. It wouldn't be impossible to take normal-sized people and make them look like dwarves, because we saw it done in the Lord of the Rings and in the Hobbit.
Yeah,
they did it with the Hobbit. They did it with the dwarves. They did it with all the kinds of creatures that had to be of certain sizes.
Yeah, but now you have to have representation on it.
I was gonna say, and you did it in an elf too.
But that's 15, 20 years ago. All of them are 15 years ago. Yeah, I mean, Hobbit, okay, 10, fine, but that is a worldly different world than it is now.
Yeah.
You pull that kind of
right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you could easily have a whole mix of people squash down who you need to squash down, and it still would work because it would still be a mixed group. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is give them the character that they're supposed to represent, and that's it.
Yep.
This shows no essence of character whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's good. That's a great cosplay of her, but it doesn't really give me any feeling that she's more than just someone that looks pretty.
Mm.
Facts. I don't know what Disney is doing. Disney, what are you doing?
They don't even.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Bob Iger is losing some brownie points with me.
Oh, what's this?
This is your hit list.
That is the salaries of 7 of the executives that are currently involved in the other side of the writer's strike.
That's right. We're talking about the SAG now.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, I kind of want to dive into that too, because I got the
problem. Yeah, so like I said, and you guys already know this. I've been part of SAG, and I've gotten my health insurance through SAG every year since 2014. Mm-hmm. We're going to lose it right now. My best case scenario is that we're going to go in COBRA for 12 months and drop about $12,000. That's my best case scenario. I took a part-time job right now because of the fact that my wife was like, you're in the house way too much. Get the F out, go do something. So that's what I'm doing now. But the issue exists is the fact that now SAG has joined the fray, which means that movies that are out there can no longer be promoted, such as Barbie, such as Oppenheimer, such as Blue Beetle. Zolo Maraduena came out and said that he's like, I can't promote this film, but you guys can. So basically, when it comes right down to it, you were looking at SAG as having no desire whatsoever to start actually promoting any of the projects that exist out there, which in turn may also hurt the box office further.
And it's going to hurt. We'll go on this in a second after you talk about this, but it's going to hurt conventions, and I'll explain that afterwards.
Conventions possibly too. I mean, for different reasons in this case, but.
Well, I found out some information today that's going around supposedly at conventions. the actors are not, if they're SAG, only if they're SAG, are not allowed to put their character names anymore, and are not allowed to put quotes from any movie they've been in. And the other thing is they can only have prints of headshots and
Nothing
stuff.
from any projects they did that were SAG projects, you're saying?
That's my understanding. Is basically there's this list. Someone sent me a screenshot earlier of basically giving, because like I'm a consigner, I do conventions, saying, hey, warning, because of the thing, they're not allowed to put character names, not allowed to put quotes. Supposedly,
they can't promote anything involving a SAG project. That makes sense.
Yeah. So then I guess the other question is, if it's an older project, is it SAG or not? And then you're going to have to do research.
Yes. Well, in this case, if Solidarity exists in this, it would still be a SAG project, no matter how far back it goes.
Like Back to the Future. Would Back to the Future be considered a SAG project?
Yes.
I know okay.
Yeah, so any of the stuff from if it was a SAG production that had SAG actors, it doesn't matter. Gone with the Wind is a SAG project.
Okay.
Wizard of Oz is a SAG project. So it doesn't matter in this particular case. It's about what you're allowed to legally do. And as a result, you can't promote any union project because of Solidarity. So that in some ways may actually hurt the executives a little bit. But this thing is, word I'm hearing is end of the year, maybe.
I know
that long.
I know it'll hurt cons, because I know there are people that won't get an autograph if they can't get a quote or
cons. I'll be honest with you, cons are the low end of the stick right here. They are, because in this case here, thousands of us right now are not working.
No, yeah.
I know people right now that are losing their house over this, and they are not in the Writers Guild. They're IATSE people. I know people that are selling their furniture and having to tell the kids why they had to get rid of the couch and the trampoline. So there's a lot of things that are happening right now. The writers right now have an escrow account, so they are being paid during this strike, but the rest of us aren't. Now, I'm fortunate in this case. With us, we're in pretty good shape. We're dipping into savings a lot more. I took the part-time job. I made look at health insurance through that as well. That's my homework for tomorrow. But this has much bigger ramifications than whatever BS thing is showing up on Netflix next month. This is
now, if I may interject, as a non-union worker, obviously I have a project that I'm working on this weekend, and obviously we stand in solidarity. But since it's non-union, it's the one guy financing everything. That's perfectly fine. But what about for people in SAG-AFTRA? Like, if they are given the opportunity to do non-union work, can they? Or like, I know you talk about like FICOR being a thing.
It depends. FICOR, yes, it's a congressional ruling that will allow you to do the Evil Lives Here and the informative murder porns, the reenactment stuff. I saw a casting notice from Rita Powers today that was looking for a stand-in for Andy Cohen for Real Housewives of Atlanta. My first stand-in gig actually was for Andy Cohen, but I'm not doing it for $15 an hour. I'm not, it's like, that's what they were paying. And that would be like a 4-hour job. So they pay like $60. I'm like, no.
Okay.
So I'm not going to bother. But non-union projects could easily pay the $250 or $300, or even sometimes thousands of dollars. I personally, as a FICOR person, I will say, that if something comes along and my timing's right, maybe I'll take it. But regular full-out union workers, they will still continue to get fined, and they will get, $1,000 fine if they go and do some Applebee's gig to pay the rent. Yes. I know people that have actually gotten fined. I mentioned Applebee's specifically because there's a guy I know that got hit with $1,000 fine for doing principal on an Applebee's commercial, and he got nailed. But
did he at least get a free ticket to Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
No, he did not, because it was back in the day, and at the time, there were only 4, or in some cases 3, Indiana Jones movies, with people realizing that Crystal Skull was the worst Indiana Jones movie that could ever exist, and there could never possibly be another one that's worse than that. So this was probably about 2017, maybe 18, I guess it was.
Okay.
All right, and I'm just gonna say this. This is really starting to be depressing, not just under the SAG, the writers, and not only that, you have independent filmmakers we're not feeling the effects, but we feeling how y'all feel because of the fact that y'all on strike and y'all fighting for equality and the pay which is a fair shake. So, and
here's the thing. Like I said, I understand the perspective of the writers wanting streaming, because
Right.
as you saw, based on the numbers, I mean, Zaslav's getting 98 million a year. Iger's getting 42. Chapek, who just got ousted, was making 32 million a year. So these people are looking for their extra few $1,000s for what they did, and I understand that point. The problem is the fact that a lot of us are we're, like I said, we're okay. We're annoyed, and we're dipping the savings.
Right.
But there are a lot of people out there that are really, really effed over this whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking.
I mean, the fact is, it's already a hard thing to get into SAG-AFTRA to begin
Right.
with.
Grip,
not easy.
Grip Electrical, set dressing, wardrobe, HMU. I mean, all these people right now are sitting on their ass. We live in suburban New Jersey. Those people live in New York City. Brooklyn is a little bit of a rougher area to basically live in than say where I am here in Jersey. Because rent is what, $2,000 a month for like a 1-bedroom, maybe. Studios are $3,000 in some places.
Right.
But then you look at a place like LA, which is like the mecca of Hollywood or filmmaking. Hollywood. Right. Well, like, obviously it is Hollywood because Hollywood's there, but that's the point. The thing is, you have so many people that go there just for that work. It's not like a part-time gig. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm doing something else in the meantime while going in. There are people that go out for that, bar none, nothing else. And here you are taking away any way for them to break into the business. Because one of the big things, if I remember correctly, they wanted to screw over background workers by scanning their faces and having them become AI generated in perpetuity.
Yes. Right. And actually not just them, but actors as a whole. I want to send you guys a video. I went on a little bit of a weird deep dive yesterday, and YouTube has this whole sub community of like AI music covers. I listened to Freddie Mercury, air quotes, do a cover of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. I want to send this to you guys because it is so goddamn close. It is amazing to listen to. It sounds like Freddie Mercury is doing the Celine Dion song. And it opens up another brand new can of worms where, okay, you get some funny stuff where you get like Homer Simpson doing Chop Suey or, Gangster's Paradise by Frank Sinatra. Okay, fine. But Freddie Mercury doing Adele songs. And it's like, my God, this is close. This is what it feels like Freddie Mercury doing this. Is that the new genre when it comes to music? I gotta send this to you because it's really kind of mind blowing.
It's mind blowing and creepy at the same time. So
yes, Robin, yeah. Go ahead.
My thing is this going to be the way that they're going to utilize actors now with AI and tell us to go kick rocks and get a 9-to-5?
Yep,
that's how they'll try.
Listen, if they say no now, that doesn't mean they're going to say no forever. One of the rules in sales is that no never means no. It just means not right now.
And unfortunately, when you start with the background workers, you're basically cutting off people's dreams at the knees. So many people need that entranceway in order to get into the business. No one ever starts off being Academy Award nominated in their first film. They all start somewhere. If you start blocking off the places for people to start to get into the industry, how else is someone going to get
there? Matter of fact, there was an episode on Black Mirror that relates.
Yeah, they've mentioned that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, yeah. The one with Salma Hayek, right?
Yes.
Yeah, people talked about that, the similarities.
To back up with what you were saying earlier, Ryan, there are other places that are cheaper to film it. I know you mentioned LA, but Georgia is starting to become the #1 place because it's a cheaper place to film.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of your projects are being, a lot of Netflix projects, not Marvel projects.
Walking Dead was down there for the entire run. Well, see, here's the thing that's curious about that. You mentioned background. That is a right to work state. So in The Walking Dead, all your walkers had to actually go to zombie school to learn how to walk like a zombie. And, it's pretty standard work, but they got paid $8 an hour because down there, the union rates are different. So you make like $64 a day. Granted, your apartments are like $500 a month, which is a little easier, but they don't have to do the mandatory 187 that they do, say, in New York City and in New Jersey.
Yeah,
you can get a union person for like $75 a day.
Right.
And mind you, Jersey's going to be getting a lot more work once the Lionsgate studio and the Netflix studio and all that stuff actually comes to pass. So if you're going to go ahead and have these studios made up and people are just going to be like shuttled in and shuttled out without having any time of long-term work from these places, what's the point of them even being here?
Well, like I said, in this case here, a movie, I read something recently, I'm going to do a movie can actually, at this point, or in the near future, can be written, filmed, and released in a single day with AI the way it's going. I read something, I forget who it was. Somebody said basically that the problem is it's still ones and zeros. AI has never experienced heartbreak. It has never lost a family member. It has never lost a job. It has never been broken up with or left at the altar. So AI can't get that part of it because it's still ones and zeros. My attitude is for now.
Yeah.
Statistics.
It's like Philip DeFranco always says, the AI we have now is still the worst it will ever be. It will only get better from here on out. It will only get smarter from here on out.
Right.
And
so I mean, this is like Skynet, really,
or iRobot.
Nah.
Skynet's dangerous. Well, statistically speaking, the people that create AI, more than 50% of them believe there's a greater than 10% chance that we're actually leading to our own extinction of humanity.
Right.
More than half of them believe there's a greater than 10% chance. Statistically speaking, look it up. So, but you know what? If we're going to go out, I'm going to go out listening to Freddie Mercury do covers of Metallica.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But see, that's maybe the only way you'll be able to get any real actors and any real content if everything has to be new. If you work with new characters, if you work with new stories, if you work with something that is not established IP, that the algorithm or the AI or something can't get fed into it because it doesn't have that basis, then you could probably get something really great. The problem is the industry, the way it's going right now, all the big movies that have been shut down because of the strike are essentially sequels.
Or reboots, yeah.
Or reboot.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you really want to build off those IPs, you can with AI. If you wanted to try something new, have at it, Hoss. You have all those relevant to do so. There's no guarantee it'll be a success because the stuff that's guaranteed success can easily be fed and churned out. And that's the sad state of the industry. I mean, as much as I love my Marvel stuff, it's become formulaic.
Yep. Well, even She-Hulk called it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Kevin.
Yeah. Which
I mean,
we thought it
say
was,
what you will about the show, but it was smart.
I loved how we all thought it was Kevin Feige, and then when he comes in there, it's a AI robot that's just generating content. And she's like, "We need different. We need something." They were pretty nailed on it.
And you know
right, and that's unfortunately because that's where our money ends up going. We as the consumer, that is what we put our money towards.
Right.
We don't necessarily put it towards new ventures or new ideas or things that may seem intriguing but are completely different from what we know. We go with the comfortable. We go with the casual. We go with the things that we've seen before because we know it works. And unfortunately, artificial intelligence knows that it works too.
Yes.
And then also, I'm going to say this. Now, I feel as though we owe She-Hulk an apology, ladies and gentlemen, for bringing...
Yes.
Ladies...
Justice for Shulky.
So, audience, She-Hulk called it. We owe She-Hulk an apology. Don't they? Wait.
Probably.
They shut down.
Yes.
They did.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's the other side of it, too, where a lot of the projects worldwide that are SAG tied, which I'm going to mention something in a quick second, a lot of them have shut down because of their SAG affiliations. So, yeah, worldwide, the world's feeling it a little bit, but not as much because obviously they have their own stuff in-house. So whatever films in Australia, my Life is Murder, for example, that's not being put.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's like a lot of actors that are doing stuff in like Europe and everything. The reason that they're still working over there is because they're tied into unions from those countries. So they can't back out of those union rights and those union rules.
Which, by the way, this is actually how the studios here are starting to do workarounds. They're hiring non-union crews in countries where there's no SAG jurisdiction. So they can actually take a movie, start filming it in, like, say, Tunisia or something like that, and hire a bunch of randos and just pay them by the day. That's actually how the execs are working around this a little bit right now.
Well, yeah, because as far as they're concerned, they still have to churn out stuff.
Yes.
And they're not going to full stop.
And my thing is, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't go after the independent actors yet.
They will, but
how can they?
But see, in this case, this is the kind of thing that I started to sense years ago. So when I launched Dreampunk Entertainment last year, it was tied to what the vibe that I got in the sense that just felt wrong. That I knew something weird was coming. I couldn't shake what it was. And
which, by the way, just not to cut you off, but I do want to make this mention because it has come up on TikTok and through other mediums. As far as us watching any of the films that come out, critiquing them, doing reviews, stuff of that nature, we are not paid by anybody in order to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
We do it strictly for our own measures, for our own entertainment, and we are not being bought by any studios to be like, okay, we'll pay you money if you go ahead and propagate this film for us. Because that actually has been an issue with some people, including, like I mentioned to you off the show, Straw Hat Goofy. If anybody knows Juju Green of TikTok and YouTube fame, he got himself into some hot water because he said, sure, they can give me the money, I'll take the money in order to do reviews. Like, whether it's the advanced screenings that he gets, the free tickets, whether he's given any financial compensation to do any reviews
out there.
Yeah, he got some heat over the Flash review, that's for sure, saying it was the best comic book movie he's ever seen. BS. I think everybody that's seen this film knows it had some issues. So he actually had to go ahead and double back on that, saying that if he has any current contracts, he has to fill those out. He will not be taking any new contracts with anybody. But that's him doing like repair work.
Damage control.
I just want people to know, if you do see anything from us as far as reviews, as far as talking about any films coming out in theaters, know that it is strictly Streampunk and only Streampunk that is going ahead and putting that out for you.
Right.
Nobody else is making us do anything we don't want to do.
Exactly. And for the record, if we was paid that type of money, we would not be in this situation. We would have a whole bunch of high tech and equipment. We probably would be together.
I'd be green screening myself on a beach in Tampa Bay. I don't care.
Who says you're not?
Tampa? You could have picked anywhere, but you picked Tampa.
You said just
dude. I want to save my money.
Okay. I mean, listen. Don't get me wrong. Tropicana Field rocks. It really does. But I would have figured you would have gone with like Maui or Aruba or
Maybe.
I've been Maui.
I mean, maybe
I've driven the roads
got
of
the
Maui.
Hawaiian shirt.
I ain't doing that again.
You drove to Maui from where?
No, I drove the roads of Maui. I drove the road to Hana. I drove the road to Hana in a rental car during a rainstorm with my mother and my sister in the car, racing back to the other side of the island to get to the airplane before it flew off without us. With other cars coming down the way, making sure I didn't go off the road. I ain't doing that again.
Is that because dinosaurs were
the third act of a movie right there?
That sounds like a movie.
Dude, the road to Hana is one of the 13 most dangerous roads in the world. You can easily just fall off the side and cascade down into the ocean. I ain't doing that in a rental car. You better give me like a 4x4 Jeep something with some treads. And it better be a sunny ass day.
It looks nice though.
Yeah.
Were there dinosaurs chasing you?
Oh yeah, no, it's beautiful. Yeah, no, they did find some Jurassic Park stuff there.
Wow.
The waterfalls are beautiful.
Yeah.
But imagine that on a rainy day, no sunlight, cars coming in the other end, all that swerving back and forth, all the mud, all the trucks that are trying to run me off the road. I ain't doing it.
While they're dinosaurs chasing you.
I mean, it looks really nice.
It looks nice, but
how you drive it?
I just said it looks nice.
Ryan's saying it. I don't trust the niceness.
You shouldn't trust the niceness. Niceties are BS. They are facades. It may look pretty, but you know what? I bet you some flowers look pretty, and then they're poisonous as all hell. I ain't doing it.
Not doing it.
Not again.
No. Bullshit.
No. Hell no.
Tracy Morgan. No.
If you want me to do my Tracy Morgan, I'll do
it.
No. Hell no. No.
Actually,
The things that make Davion smile, I swear to God.
I missed the window. I should have done that, actually. So
yeah, you should have. You should have done
sorry.
that, but I'm not doing it again. I refuse.
I apologize.
It's enough.
We apologize for any inconvenience.
Yeah. Audience, we don't apologize. We're unapologetic.
How there isn't like a compilation of me just doing the Tracy Morgan
like that ukulele apology video that came out with that one YouTuber.
Miranda sings?
Yeah, that's the apology we do here.
But that's the only and one time we apologize. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we don't apologize.
I deeply regret my actions and the damage that they have caused.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah. And then, like, what, months later, it's like, I did have it, and it was awesome. And I don't know why, basically, Bill Clinton just sounded like Forrest Gump right there.
I was like, that's what I heard.
It depends on what sexual relations means.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
No. For Forrest Gump, I have to go like, I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
I was like, I'm not a smart man, but I
gotta have like that open mouth draw. It's like, oh.
It's funny. If you ever get the chance, they did do there was a book sequel called Gump and Company, and what was interesting about it is it started off with Forrest Gump saying, "Never let people make a movie about your life," because it centers around what his life was like after Tom Hanks played him in a movie.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And it was like,
oh, that's meta as all
hell.
It
really was. And he talks about that, and he gets involved with other things like the OJ car chase and like the same stuff that kind of happened in the But yeah,
I would love to have seen that.
They almost did a movie called Gump, the second Gump movie, but they never did. But yeah, the book is called Gump and Company, and it's same author, same everything. But yeah. Aquaman and the Marvels. Oh, that's gonna go great, especially if they can't even promote that.
Yeah, and the Marvels I really want to root for because you got Miss Marvel who did a great job on TV.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Whoa. Rob.
Hold up.
I missed that. Is that a good thing that I missed that?
Hold up.
Rob.
Just kidding. Calm down.
Rob
will not be seeing that movie, but that's okay.
But why?
I didn't really care for the Miss Marvel's TV show. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
But anyways.
You got a thing against Jersey?
Yeah.
Are you Jersey-cist?
No,
wait. You're anti-Jersey and you're with us.
Pause.
I'm not
Did he just pull off a goofy laugh? Wow, laughing at
yours. Like father.
Yeah, like goofy. We don't see eye to eye.
Number one. There's buddies. There's pals. Always seem to work things out.
So the question is, with them not being able to promote movies such like the Miss Marvel's movie and the Aquaman movie, do we think they're going to go ahead and get delayed to 2024 then? Because there's going to be
some might, yeah.
See, I don't know about Aquaman because I think at this point you just have to pull the Band-Aid off of Aquaman because we already know Jason Momoa is probably not going to be playing Aquaman in James Gunn DCU.
And everyone hates
so it's one of those movies that just has to be like done something with.
And everyone
either you put it on the show or you release it and you get like a Shazam 2 sort of thing where it's like it doesn't even matter what the box office turns into.
Right.
Or do they go ahead and drop both of them and do it with no advertising and something different that Marvel's never done? Because I know like DC recently, Shazam 2 spoilers, even though that movie came out a while back, they did a trailer where they showed Gal Gadot a week before the movie even came out, and that
was bad promotion.
That was bad promotion. Oh, sorry,
I know how they can get around this. You start bringing in TikTokers and influencers to review it because they're not under SAG jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That's how the whole Straw Hat Goofy thing got into issues.
But see, in this case here, the studio execs will not mind throwing a few TikTokers under the bus in order to promote the film. There will always be
but they will consider them scabs in order for doing so if they take the money and review.
But here's the thing: if the ticket sales increase, does anyone care? I mean, will the studio execs really care if they get the money back that way? So.
I mean, I can't imagine it'll do much for the career once the strike is over because what actors and entertainers and writers are going to even want to bother with somebody like that? You shoot yourself in the foot for a temporary gain.
Listen. I'm just saying it's possible, and I don't actually know.
That's why
I
I'm
don't know what
saying
happened to Pete's
anything
wife
we
in the
do,
goof troop.
we're not getting funded by anybody.
I know what happened to Pete's wife.
What happened?
Goofy shoulder. Yup.
Davion, you are no Bill Farmer. Sorry.
You know what? That's messed up, guys. That's messed up.
To the goof troop, always stick together. It's the goof troop.
Gauges was suddenly not there anymore.
By the way, you notice they haven't done a Bonkers reboot yet?
I don't know what happened with that. That was supposed, it was supposed to be a reboot.
They didn't do Bonkers. They didn't do Schnookums and Meat Funny Cartoon Show.
Well, there's a good reason for that.
I know. Schnookums and Meat though wasn't bad. That was just
Freakazoid was good.
Meat was low rent, Ren and Stimpy.
It was, but when you're used to seeing what Disney Afternoon used to be, that's kind of like it was an edgy, gutsy thing.
Wait, was Freakazoid?
No,
Freakazoid
that's my dude Paul Rudd. Really cool guy, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
You met Paul Rudd?
No, we're Facebook friends. I talk to him about once a month.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, he's actually a really cool guy. I talk to his wife too occasionally. But
that's a flex.
I always get the short end of the stick. I always get kicked off on the low.
What's that?
I always get kicked off on the low. Shut up.
So that's all the time we got, by the way, folks. I appreciate everything.
But do we have any other questions? I know we tried to make some.
I was gonna say, Ryan, what was? Or never mind. I'll just ask you off screen.
No.
What?
Are we doing that combat thing or no? Maybe I got misunderstood.
That's more for people that actually know wrestling, and that's more of an off thing.
No, I thought the characters was a different thing. The thing that you posted in the group that was with the YouTube channel.
Don't worry about that. That's
Never mind.
That is not a Tails thing. So that's not a thing here.
Correct.
Okay. Never mind.
Yes.
Sorry.
All right. So
yeah.
My bad.
But yes. Long story short, if you know anyone who's SAG-AFTRA, if you know anyone who's WGA, if you know anyone who's
WTF
connected to those industries and is probably suffering right now, go ahead, support them the best you can. Support the industries that they're working for, not so much the producers that they're working against.
Yep. Right.
You want to see a film that's been made and what is being put out? See it for the people that were actually on the film and see it for the people that were in hands deep.
All the credits
don't worry
look
about
at the end of the movie when you're waiting for the mid-credit scene.
Right.
Yeah. Don't necessarily worry about the production companies because we're not trying to worry about them right now either.
Yeah, they'll be fine. But
yep.
All right, folks. So thanks as always. I appreciate. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Rob.
Woo!
Next week we'll probably. Next week I think maybe we'll hammer this out, but we'll take bets on which will be better: Barbie, Oppenheimer, or Yes. You know, which will do better at the box office. Maybe we'll take a little bet on that.
Wait, what was the third one?
Barbie, Oppenheimer, or Yes.
What's Yes?
What's Yes?
They're going to be tied, or they'll do equally well. But I think maybe we'll talk about that. See, we basically figure out which one will do better. I'm curious.
I think Barbie.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it next week.
I'll save my answers for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen.
That works.
Until then.
Yes.
This is Tales from the Film Set, and we're out of here.
Yo.